Are you in a place of your life where you feel a bit passionless right now? Like you're kind of just in Groundhog Day, you're in a place where there's just not as much spark for you, and deep down you want to bring something in your life that, you know, that feeds that passion, but you don't know how to do it. Well, if you do, make sure you watch this video. So unfortunately, there's many people in the world who just kind of feel they don't have the passion. They kind of, their day-to-day life's kind of Groundhog Day. They kind of just tick in, tick out, and they just don't have that thing that's their spark. Now, it's not that they don't know what that is. It's just that it's not happening in their life. And I often think one of the biggest problems in these areas is that we don't have the time for our passions. But the second biggest problem is we don't have the energy for our passion. And I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you determine an area of your life where you want to explore a passion. Let's say you've always wanted to do some drawing. And so you decide to yourself, I'm going to do an art class. I'm going to sign up and do an art class, and I'm going to really commit to the art class because I want to get really good at art. I've always wanted to do drawing and so on. And you do the art class, you go along, you do a Sunday class, and there's some project to do over the next 6 weeks. And you think to yourself, what I'm going to do, I'm going to really commit to this project, and I'm going to get myself, an hour every night for the next 6 weeks because I really want to get good at this process I'm trying to learn in my art class. And what comes home is, you do the Sunday course, you get your materials and the plan for the next 6 weeks, and you come home with the good intentions the first night, the end of your day, and it doesn't happen. And it doesn't happen because you're tired. It's the end of the day. You want to kind of, I should be getting this art thing done, but I've had a big day at work and I'm tired. And, I just want to watch some Netflix and go to bed. So you think to yourself, okay, Wednesday night I'm going to plan in to do this again. Wednesday comes along, you have another busy day at work. And what happens when it comes time to do your art? Well, you're tired again. Or you might start doing it, but you're so tired, it's half-assed, so you kind of give up pretty quickly. And you get to the end of the week, and ultimately, nothing's happened with your art. And ultimately, in 6 weeks' time, you were meant to go back to the art course again, but you don't go back because nothing's actually happened in the last 6 weeks. Now, this little analogy that I've created here is one of the biggest problems, I think, for people who are not in a passionate life right now that stops them from actually bringing a passion into their lives. Now, if you're someone who, there's two problems we have here. First of all is you don't know what your passion is, or you never have the energy for your passion. And when we think of that analogy, and I think this is one of the biggest hurdles people face in doing this, is because that ultimately the time when they try to put their passion in is the time when they have the least chance of success. And it's actually really interesting. I've got this online beginner 5K running program that I have. And in the first week of the program, I've made the exercise stupidly easy. So basically, they just have to practice some technique for some strength movements, and then they have to go for an easy walk. But in the first week of the program, the main focus of the week is figuring out when it's the highest chance of success of A, them fitting the exercise in, but also B, having great energy for them to fit the exercise in. So we get them to kind of scan their week, we get them to look at their week, and we say, okay, when's the highest chance of it happening with you having good energy? So for example, if someone's not a good morning person, that's not a high chance of it happening because they're not going to have good energy in the morning. But if they know on a Friday they have half a day at work, so they can go Friday afternoon after work, get out and do that session, there's a higher chance of that happening. And what we do is we set them up to the pattern of success based on what they know about their life and what they know about their energy. Because if we can slot the exercise in at those times, there's a higher chance that they will do this. And this week's really important in their program because then what we do is we get them to set that up as their habit as they're working down their journey of running 5Ks. Now, with this in mind, this is what we want to do in passion areas of our lives. If you want to develop passion, now if you're the person who doesn't know what your passion is, well, you need to spend some time doing some exploration. But once you've done that, then what you want to do is you want to prioritize making it the first thing you put in your week. One of the analogies you ever hear when you listen to someone around finances is they say, pay yourself first. What the idea is that when you get your paycheck, the first thing you do is you take a percentage of your paycheck, it might be 10% of your paycheck out, and put it in your savings account and invest that money. That lesson there is one of the greatest investment tools of all time. If you can apply that, you're going to be wealthier in the last part of your career. Now, This philosophy of pay yourself first financially is what we want to do with our passions as well. So if you're currently sitting in an area of your life where, you know what, I don't feel I've got passion, or I don't have time for your passion, you want to pay yourself first with passion time in your week. And it's kind of like what I do with our 5K runners, is we say to them, when is the highest chance of you fitting it in with the greatest energy as possible? And if I go back to the analogy of doing the art class, so I do the art class on a Sunday, and then when we get home on a Sunday night, I scan my week and I go, okay, where's the highest chance where I can put 2 half-an-hour sessions in this week, where I actually have really good mind energy and I'm in a really good place to do this? And if I scan my week, I might go, you know what, Thursday lunch, I get 2 hours for lunch, I can have a nap first, and then I can spend half an hour there. And on a Sunday afternoon, I've always got time there as well. Now, if I do that, do you think there's a higher chance that I'll do the work in the area that I'm working on? And if I can consistently do that work over the next 6 weeks, what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to get to the end of 6 weeks and I'll build the first building block in that passion area of my life. And then I want to continue on to build more of those building blocks. So what I want you to take away from this is, first of all, if you are the person who's trying to bring passionate areas into your life, are you making decisions that make it hard for you to be successful? So are you putting it in times where you're fatigued and there's less chance for it to happen? Secondly, what do you need to do to make sure you're successful in putting it in place at times when you have the resource and the mental energy? And then ultimately what you want to do is just make sure you do the work and make that a consistent behavior as you do this. Now, there's other things you'll need to do to create a passionate life, but if you can put this step in place, you'll be well on the path to being more successful and waking up in 6 months from now having laid a lot more of that framework for your passionate life. If you enjoy my pieces and you want to bring exercise into your life, you need to check out my book, I Will Make You Passionate About Exercise. This book is designed to be a step-by-step journey that teaches you the right lessons and experiences to guide bringing exercise into your life, not just for a moment, but where you get to the place where you have a long-term love of exercise. So you get fitter, you get healthier, you have great stress releases, and you feel amazing about yourself. This book has been hugely successful, getting into the top 10 in the world for health and fitness books. So if it's time for you to bring health and fitness into your life, go to Passion About Exercise, click on the link, go through the process, and you can be starting your journey of finding your love for exercise really soon.